Hello everybody, Claudia Boleyn here, and in case you've been misled by the title of this video, no, this is not a confession video where I confess I'm actually not bisexual at all and it was all some massive lie. It's actually a ploy to get some people in here and to actually hear some facts and to actually learn a little something about sexuality and gender. So I thought I'd start by giving you a little overview of what's going on online so you get an idea of where this is coming from. Ever since I began YouTube and being a blogger, obviously you get quite a lot of backlash, and you expect that kind of thing when you're into politics, and especially when you're aligned with feminism and the LGBTQIAP+ movement, you're going to get a lot of backlash, and to be honest I was prepared for it and it doesn't really bother me. So essentially when I first started to get trolls and things, it really didn't bother me very much. I mean, at first it's quite irritating, but I mean it goes past. So that didn't work. The original trolls don't work. So but there are people who are determined to get me and people like me offline. So the next tactic is to insult a woman's appearance. You know, you go, if it's a woman, you go for a woman's appearance. But unfortunately for them, I am that odd personality that I'm like a mixture of, I'm extremely vain and arrogant sometimes, but also I'm under no illusions about my face. I mean, I know, I can see myself. I mean, I'm hot stuff. I can see myself, and I know that from the right angle, with the right makeup, when I've spent enough time on what I look like, I can look quite good. Like today, I think I look quite nice. But I also know that when I'm sitting at home watching Doctor Who, or I'm watching Game of Thrones or something, and I've got my hair pulled back and I'm not wearing any makeup, I don't look particularly attractive, and I look a lot like Deep Roy. I also get told I look quite a lot like my father, but less attractive than my father. Sort of like his face, but on my... It just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Anyway, I'm getting away from the point. So they try and get you off the internet by insulting your looks, but that didn't work with me. So the next tactic that that came up on their scale of attacks against me was a porn video. I spoke about this before in one of my other videos, and I remember the first time I saw it in my comment section. I'm such a weirdo. I was genuinely really excited and like, oh, me stripping, oh, what's this? I have to see this, this is exciting. I didn't know what it was, and obviously, you know, it wasn't me. If it was me, then I wouldn't be hiding it. I'm into the idea that a woman should be as sexually free as she likes, so, you know, I wouldn't be hiding it anyway. But no, that wasn't me, so that didn't work either, so they stopped doing that. And their latest sort of idea to try and stop me being on the internet and to discredit me is to call me a fake queer. So I'm always getting like response videos and things made to my videos, which, you know, I kind of like. I don't mind response videos, and I'm really big on debate and that kind of thing, so I'm really open to that. I don't like it when it gets abusive. I think that's crossing a line a bit, because I don't see any reason why you should attack somebody personally if they haven't attacked anyone personally. It's just the way I do things, I guess. I don't think we need that sort of nastiness anywhere, let alone online. But yeah, there are these videos going around about me, and there are various sites and things. And again, it's quite exciting, because I am quite vain, and I do enjoy having a little look and knowing that people know who I am. I wouldn't say I'm internet famous. Maybe one day, hopefully, fingers crossed. But you know, there are enough people out there that there are these things being made about me that know who I am. I've got the love on the one side, I've got the hate on the other side, but you know, it's fine. You come to accept that kind of thing. I'm getting off the topic at hand. So anyway, I was reading, I saw an article the other day that came up on my Google page when I was Googling myself, as I do, and it was like, Claudia Boleyn is a mentally ill liar and that kind of thing. So I had to read on it. I can't help myself. My poor dad, he tells me not to look at these things. My poor dad follows my internet career. He's wonderful, very supportive, but the poor thing, he gets so cross with all these people that, you know, send abuse and that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm sorry, Dad, if you're watching this. I'm sorry that you ended up with a daughter that is a queer feminist, but here I am. Thanks, no, thanks, Dad, thank you. Thank you for being there. But I'm getting off the topic again. But anyway, in this post, which I'm not actually going to link to this entry or whatever, or this essay thing, because I didn't want to give this person publicity. But in it said that I was a liar and they'd caught me out. So I was reading and I'm thinking, oh, they've caught me out. What have I done? What have I done? Because apparently I can't actually be queer. Because at 3 separate occasions I call myself 3 different things. I call myself A, queer, B, bisexual, and C, cis. Now what baffles me is that these people actually go out of their way to write these essays and do these responses, but without doing their research first. Okay, so this is just an educational thingy before I get into the reasons of why it is so frustrating and wrong to constantly doubt young women that say they're bisexual. But to start with, you can be all three of those things. You can be queer, bisexual and cis, because bisexuality is my sexuality. It means I'm attracted to same and different genders. Cis is my gender. Being cisgender is the opposite to being transgender. It basically means that I agree with the gender I was assigned at birth. It's as simple as that. And queer is an umbrella term for our movement. If you're not part of the movement, then it's not a good thing to say because it's a slur. It's been used against us in the past. And you definitely, even if you're in the movement, you shouldn't use it, you know, you shouldn't call somebody else queer. But sure, if you're part of the movement, then sure, it's our slur, we can reclaim it. And I like to call myself queer. I quite like reclaiming that, because I feel like it's such a nasty word that's been used against us, and I like the power of being able to say, yeah, I am queer, so what, I am queer, I'm happy with it. That's just me. So you can be those three things. So no, I'm not a fake queer. I'm 100% real queer, 100% bisexual. I wanted to say that being a young woman and a bisexual, it can be very tough because there's this thing called bi-erasure. So bisexuals are often erased from our own community and from society in general. A really good example of this is Freddie Mercury. He's a bisexual icon, only he's not a bisexual icon because even though he identified as bisexual, a lot of people still think of him as being a gay icon, and that happens to us a lot. I know that in a lot of response videos against me and propaganda against me online, people say, oh, she says she's queer, but then she says she's not a lesbian, she's just afraid of being called a lesbian, oh, she's not even queer. No, bisexuality is a thing. Bisexuality means being attracted to same and different genders, and there are a lot of us out there, so I think that if you have a problem with that, if you can't understand that, then it's you that needs to go and do, you need to educate yourself, you need to go and stop being so ignorant about things. I mean, like I say, I don't mind any sort of criticism and responses to what I do. I like that kind of thing. I'm glad people are watching my material, I really am. But I do find it incredibly frustrating when this is used, because I feel like it's a blow against our entire community and it's something we get all the time. Bisexual young women are hardly ever believed, and a lot of the time as well, we're assumed to be being bi for attention, like we're being bi to somehow arouse men, and that's not what it's about at all. Our sexuality is our sexuality. It's not about arousing some man somewhere who thinks it's kind of hot when we get together. So yeah, that's not how it is at all. There also seems to be this very odd mentality around with anti-social justice people, that people pretend to be from marginalised groups for internet cred. And I just think if you're one of those people, surely that just displays how much privilege you have to imagine that it would be fun to be part of a marginalised group. Like as if we're having a great time, yeah, pretending to be marginalised. Look at all the societal benefits I'm getting, look at my human rights. It really doesn't work like that. I mean, I'm sorry I'm gonna get a bit serious now. But, I mean, I am bisexual, and I didn't choose to be bisexual, but that's what I am. And I wouldn't make it up. I spent years and years confused, and I spent nights crying, and I felt lonely, and it contributed to me getting very suicidal and depressed. And I've internalised a lot of biphobia, and I don't see people like me in the media. When I was younger, I really struggled to understand myself because there were no resources available to me at that age. As a young bisexual woman, there were no resources. We don't do this kind of thing for fun. It's really not fun. Being part of a marginalised group is not something that people become or say they are. The majority of people anyway don't say they are to be popular on the internet. I get this a lot with my mental illnesses as well. People say, Claudia, why do you tell people that you're mentally ill? It shouldn't define you. And I'm not trying to make it define me. I just like the idea of being there for other people who suffer the same and being able to relate, and sometimes it can help so much to listen to someone else and to connect to someone else online from across the world and just to be like, you know what, I've been there and I feel you and you're not alone and there's loads of us. So it's not for popularity. it's not like that, and it's one of the most frustrating misconceptions about websites like Tumblr and that kind of thing. We're a community, we're trying to support each other. It's not about being popular, it's about serious stuff. It's about saving lives. It really is that serious, because there are so many people from the LGBTQIA+ community that do attempt to take their own lives, and some of them succeed, and we have to be there for each other. And that's why I'm very open about being bisexual, and why I'm also very open about being mentally ill. So, this video's been a little bit jumbled, it's gone all over the place, it's ended up just me chatting away, as usual. But I think it is very important. I think that people knowing what the word cis means is important, and I think being able to say I am cis is important, not only to us, but to the trans community as well. It's important that we don't just think of cis people as the norm and normal, and trans people as this mystical other group somewhere else. No, no. People can be transgender, they can be cisgender, and it's completely fine either way, but we need to stop thinking of cis as being normal, because that's harmful to the trans community. So anyway, yes, that's why a lot of us on Tumblr and who are into social justice will say we're cis if we're not trans. It's because it helps another community, and it helps a community that needs support and that we want to try our best to be allies to. So, you know, if you're complaining about that, then you really need to get your life in check. Really. Complaining about people trying to make life nicer for other people. There are a lot worse things to be complaining about in this world. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm not a fake queer. Sorry for this misleading video title, but I thought it would draw them in so they could hear some facts and learn something and become better people. Thank you again for watching. I love you very, very much. I am 100% bisexual and 100% proud.